Good morning, guys. Today we will see about volume reduction. This is the first step and the foremost important step in concern with it of any industry when we talk about this waste minimization of the industrial wastewater. Very specifically, if this wastewater is discharged into the of your sewer or as the sewage treatment plant as well as of your streams. So this has to be practiced so that the amount of wastewater that is sent to that of your treatment plant will be get minimized, and therefore the cost of treatment will also be get reduced, and eventually the problem of disposal will also be get reduced. So let's see what are the various ways we can do this volume reduction. So these are the various methods by which we can able to achieve this volume reduction. First one is classification of waste. Then second one is conservation of wastewater, changing production to decrease waste, reuse both industrial and municipal waste, and elimination of batch and slug discharges. So let's see one by one. First one is classification of the waste. From the name itself, we could identify that we are going to classify the waste. So how we are going to classify the waste? Normally, the waste what is coming from the industry, it will be from three main sources. One is the wastewater that is coming from the manufacturing process, that is of highly polluted water, and it will be of less in volume. And the second one is the waters or the wastewater that is coming out from the cooling towers, which will be of high in volume, but it will be less polluted one. And third one is the waters that is coming from that of your sanitary usage. So this wastewater will also be high in volume and it will be less polluted. So here, once if we go for classify this waste, we will go for segregating this wastewater. So what happens is the wastewater which is less in volume but it is highly polluted, that is the wastewater that is coming from the manufacturing process. That alone we can give a separate treatment. And it can be taken to the of your disposal process. But the other wastewaters that is coming from the cooling towers or sanitary usage with minimum treatment or as such, it can be sent back to the system, that is it can be recycled or reused inside the industry itself, so that the amount of water what is being consumed by the industries will be get reduced. So this is the first step where we can go for classifying the waste as waste from manufacturing process, waters that is the wastewater that is from the cooling agents, and the wastewater from the sanitary use. And once if we classify it, we are going to segregate the manufacturing process water from that of your other wastewaters. So for example, in case of manufacturing process wastewater, for example, in case of paper industry, during the formation of paper, the wastewater that is coming in the traveling wire machines, that constitute highly polluted wastewater, but it is less volume. So if we are able to segregate this wastewater from the rest of the process where water, it can be easily treated because it is less in volume. Though it is highly polluted, we can treat it by with some special treatment method, so that what happens is the amount of treatment, the operating cost of this treatment will be get reduced. And say similarly in case of your metal fabrication units, if we are removing the water that is coming from the plating solution, because this wastewater only it will be consist of copper, nickel, or whatever maybe the plating things, some metals we use. So such things we can remove it separately from the manufacturing process, and we can go for recover some useful products from this plating solution. Then we can subject to that of the treatment. So there is a dual advantage in this. We will be able to get the useful recovery products also, as well as the treatment will also be efficient as well as easy when we treat only less volume of water. And third case is your dairy industry. So in case of dairy industry, the major amount of highly polluted water comes from that of your milk cans. When it is get washed up, so what happens is the amount of milk will also be coming mixed with this cans. So that will be having the high organic loading. So once if we are segregating this manufacturing process wastewater, automatically the rest of the wastewater can be given the other treatment, or it can be recycled and reused inside the industry. So as I already said, the wastewater that is coming from the manufacturing process, it is less in volume, but it has high concentration. So we have to segregate it separately and we have to treat it also separately. While the waters that is coming from the cooling agents, the volume of this water vary from industry to industry. Why? Because in almost all industries we have this cooling towers. So that depends upon the quantity of the water that is used by the industries. So this volume that is coming from the industries also varies from place to from industries to industries, and this waters, though it is also it is used for cooling purposes, it will also be contaminated because of small leaks, corrosion products, addition of heat or little organic matter. But eventually, when compared to that of your manufacturing process wastewater, this wastewater will be having only less pollutant, but it will be of high in volume. So when we segregate this from the manufacturing process water, automatically what happens, the quantity of water that is with high pollution load that should be subjected to treatment is less. So that we can treat it separately, and while this cooling water we can recycle inside the industry itself. And the other waste is from the sanitary uses. So in case of sanitary uses, not only the wastewater that is used for sanitary purposes, the wastewater that is used for housekeeping activities like floor cleaning, all those things also contribute to this sanitary wastewater. So what is the main thing we have to concern in this sanitary wastewater is that the sanitary quantity of this wastewater depends upon the size of the plant. So in case of large plant, automatically a large amount of wastewater will be coming out from the sanitary usage. But this wastewater is, though it is high in volume, it is less pollutant. So whereas our main task lies is, if we segregate the wastewater that is coming from the manufacturing process, automatically the wastewater to be treated will be very less. Okay, so that it can be easily treated, while the rest of the water's treatment is not requires much chemicals or much operating procedures also. So second way of reducing this volume reduction is by conservation of water. So as we know that once the water is conserved, the water will be saved. So even if we do in our houses, if we have a plenty of water, we use it liturgically. So the same cases will be done in the industry. So if the water is available in cheap and in plenty of quantity, so the industry also practice the same. So where does we do with this conservation? So the conservation begins when the industry is changes from the open to a closed system. That is, in case of open system, all the water that is consumed by the industry will be discharged as wastewater. While in case of a closed system, the water what is consumed or water that is coming out from this industrial process, or not only from the manufacturing process, from cooling waters or water may be that, if it is of less polluted, it can be get recycled or reused inside this industrial process itself, so that the amount of wastewater that is being subjected to treatment and disposal will be get less, and this is said to be a closed system. For example, in case of paper mill, the white water that is coming from this paper mill, it is of less pollutant, and it is of high in volume. We can recycle this white water inside the paper mill itself. And similarly, in case of textile mills also, so if a high amount of water will be used for this textile mills, so in this case also what we can do is, if the water is cheaply available, we cannot enforce the conservation. So we can install the specific meters, or we can install some charges on this industries, or even we can restrict the industries by extracting the groundwater for its usage. All those things will be minimize the natural water, and it will enforce these industries to reuse and recycle the water inside itself. Therefore, it will go for with it of the closed system. So these are the few examples for such conservation. In case of steel mills, we can reuse the cooling waters to quench ingots. In case of coal processes, we can reuse the waste water for removing the dirt and non-combustible material from the coal. And we can even go for counter current washing, that is repeated washing, so that will also reduce the amount of water that is required for washing. And similarly, in case of plating industry, we can use multiple words where the makeup water, that is the water that is used for this treatment process, that is coming out from the process, we can treat it up and we can reuse it once again inside this plating industry after the specific recovery of materials. Then only the final exhaust water will be sent as a waste. Or we can go with the automation in the water regulatory devices where we can install meters for proper monitoring of the water usage. So that will also be reducing the water consumption. So this were the other ways where we can go for conserve this waters. One is, as you already said, we can go for install the meters, and second one is we can use regulate pressure so that it will prevent the needleless waste. We can use thermostatic controls also so that it will save the water as well as it will increase the efficiency. And we can install the automatic valves to prevent the water shortage. So the other ways is we can use spring closing sanitary fixtures that will also be preventing the intermittent flow of water. Especially in case of heat exchanges, we can remove the scale waters form, that is descaling, because scale is a hot deposition of the salt that is formed in this boilers. And it will be affecting the heat transfer. Okay, so once if it is get removed, automatically the cooling water that is required for this will be get reduced. And insulation of pipes, or investigation of the leak surveys, and using centralized control of this centralized control to prevent the wastages. All these things will helpful for conserving the waters. And similarly, we can go for recirculating the cooling water or reuse the water inside the industry. We can use high pressure, low volume rinse sprays. Why? Because if you use high pressure, the rinsing will be more effective compared to with the normal pressures. And recondition of wastewater can also be done, so that this are the various ways where we can go for conserving the waters. So once the water is conserved, what happens? The amount of wastewater that is coming out from this industry will be get reduced. So the volume reduction is achieved in this process by using this conservation mechanism. So third case is changing the production to decrease waste. It is an effective method, but it is difficult to put in practice. Why? Because the industry will incorporate a lot of amount for this as a capital investment, and it is not easy to change the production process because it also requires a more amount of investment. And apart from that, there will be a reluctance with the laborers to know about the new production technologies, all those things. So this will be having some problems with it of changing this production. So for this, what we can do, we can make a slight small changes in the raw materials or chemicals so that it will not affect the production process, but it will reduce the amount of pollutant that is being discharged in that of the wastewater. For example, we can use wet process instead of, we can use dry process instead of wet process. So the amount of wastewater that is coming out from the industry will be get reduced. And similarly, we can change the raw material. For example, in case of dyeing industries, we can reduce the sodium sulfate. Similarly, in case of plating industry, we can reduce the sodium cyanide. Automatically, the amount of this waste that is taken off into the wastewater, it will be get reduced. Even if it is possible inside the industry, we should find out the waste for neutralizing the waste from one section to the other section. We can use that. So that the acid waste from the one section of the plant can be used for neutralizing the alkaline waste from the other part of the section. So that could also be done. So by doing all these mechanisms, we can reduce the amount of waste, we can save the chemicals, we can save the money, as well as we can save the time and money in the waste treatment also. So the other way of using this volume reduction is reusing the both industrial and municipal effluents for raw water supplies. So this could be done wherever there is a water scarcity and where we don't have much of water, as well as wherever there is a domestic wastewater is a most reliable source. In that case, we can go for using this industrial or municipal effluents as raw water supplies. But there are problems with this also. So what is the problems? Why this many industries, not only industries, even we people also, we hesitate to reuse wastewater. Why? Because we don't have proper adequate information as well as a technical knowledge we don't have, and there is a difficulty of negotiating contracts by the municipalities or the industrial users, so that that the enforcement will not be properly followed, and there will be some other technical problems like hardness and color in the wastewater, and very specifically aesthetic reluctance to accept this effluents as a potential source of water, and if there is any irregular operation of treatment plants, and if there is a slack discharge from this industries, that will also affect the treated water quality. And although all of the above, we people are resistant to change in practice, that is we never accept a new thing immediately. Okay, so that is the main drawback why we are not going with this. But actually in foreign countries like Singapore, all those areas, they are reusing this domestic waters or industrial waters, for their household also. Okay, not for drinking purposes, but for the other cleaning activities, they are properly treated and they are reusing it up. So it lies with the mentality of the public. And what is the difference when we see between the sewage plant effluent and freshwater is, normally the difference lies in the color. Okay, the sewage effluent will be having higher color compared to that of your freshwater. It has high nitrogenous content, higher BOD content, higher total dissolved solids, and the presence of phosphate will be there because of the detergents. Okay, so these are the main parameters which has to be effectively treated and removed so that it can be used as a source of fresh water. The other way of volume reduction is elimination of batch or slug discharges of processed water. That is what is that is in short period of time the wastewater will be get discharged from the industries. Okay, so that is said to be a slug discharge. So we have to eliminate this batch discharge or slack discharge of this process, so that what happens is the higher strength and high volume of wastewater will be get minimized. Okay, so that we could be able to do this. So how to achieve this is we can alter the process, or we can return the slag waste in a holding tank, that is the intermittent waste in the holding tank for a specific period of time, and then we can allow to flow this continuously as uniformly over an extended period. So this is all the various ways where we can reduce the volume of the wastewater what is being disposed of, so that what happens is ultimately the wastewater that is being sent for treatment will also be get reduced, and finally the wastewater what is sent for disposal will also be reduced. Therefore the amount of wastewater that receives the stream and sewer will be get reduced. So by this is that's why this is the first and foremost step in any industrial process if we think about wastewater minimization of such industries. So the first thing is we should find out the various ways to reduce the volume of the wastewater that is being generated from this industries. So all these methods will give you a detailed guidelines, so where we can make this volume reduction and how we can make this volume reduction, so that it can be easily been adapted. So in the next session we will be seeing how to reduce the strength reduction of this wastewater that is coming from this industries. Okay, thank you guys.